Welcome to episode 38 of Around the Board. This is only the 5th time we've tried recording it. It's recorded on April 1st, 2024. Mass Market Fools. This is a show where 4 board game enthusiasts discuss board game topics and board game discussions and board game news and whatnot. And we start today's show with a great game debate about the granddaddy game of them all, and that would be Earth. Oh, no, Monopoly, I'm sorry. After that, we welcome another round of everybody's favorite, Play, Shelf, Trade. From there, we bring you incredible content of all 4 of us simultaneously attempting to break the world record for the Mannequin Challenge? All right. We'll close the show out by bringing you more Board Game Karens, the Mass Market Edition. So, without further ado, here are your hosts, leader of Meeples, Daniel Connors, the illest and chillest, John Theismann, board game sage, Chris Thomason, and your wise-cracking quipster, Andy Barnett. Now, join us around the board.
Woo! Welcome back, everybody. It's been a while. We've missed you all.
And not only that, they've probably missed us. It's the first time we've had all 4 of us together in how long? I mean, it's been a
long time.
It's been a long time.
A long time. Usually one of us is at rehab, so
True.
somehow we coordinated our schedules this time, so we're all here.
That's
Chris
nice.
actually implied that you died last time.
Yes.
He had to break the news to Hansa.
Yeah, Hansa was upset.
No. Oh, no. Hansa must have been devastated.
He was.
He was so much so that I don't think he's going to be in this episode.
Oh. He just kind of wandered off, which is pretty normal, I guess.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Sleeping it off.
Well, I got to ask you guys. It's it's been a while since I've been on the show, and I got up to my old schemes again here. Where this is an old habit, and this is one of the reasons I go to rehab. Board game addict, right here. It's because I look for deals sometimes, and I just that's a deal. I got to buy it, even though I don't know what it is. And we've discussed this many times on the show. I have this problem. So I was at a not a thrift store, but a store of sorts. Well, no, it was a store. They were selling things. And anyway, they had some board games in their clearance section, but it wasn't a specific board game store. Let me put it that way.
Was it a wet market?
It was a wet market.
Bad soup.
And that's how COVID-20 starts. It was anyway, I found a copy of a game for $10 and I was like, I've heard of this game. It's got Marvel on it, so it's got to be good. At least that's what Daniel would say. It's Smash Up. I've never played Smash Up. It was $10 in shrink. And so I was like, is this a good game? Should I get it? And then I did. I got it. And will I like it, guys? I don't know. I don't know anything about Smash Up.
Well, I mean, it has your 2 favorite things, Andy.
Yeah?
Marvel and random card play.
This is true.
I mean, it has Andy's name written all over that.
You mean it's not a heavy Euro abstract?
It's not.
Ooh.
But
Okay.
it's not a cooperative either, so at least you got that upside.
Well,
That's true.
there we go.
I've actually never
Yeah,
played
with
it, but I have been intrigued. It doesn't sound too bad. My Marvel one
For
would probably be fun to
$10,
play.
I was like, hey, what do I got to do with my money? Save it for my family? No.
Exactly.
That is a true sign of addiction, Andy. I mean,
It is. It really is.
Why did you think you would like Smash Up? Like, of all the games out there, Smash Up?
It was $10.
Really?
It was $10. I was in a mood,
Yeah.
man. I was like, I got to get something. It'll give me my fix. This
Yeah,
will give me
that'll
my
fix it a
fix for
while.
10, a 10 spot. Yes, sir.
Get you a little tin bag.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. A dime bag, right? Is that what they call it?
Exactly.
That's right.
Well, I'm glad you got the fix that you needed, Andy.
Well, I haven't played it yet.
well, it's not the play that you need.
No,
it's
it's just the buying it.
It was just
You gotta
a
buy
buy
one
one.
once
That's
in a
true.
while.
So
Gotta
true.
buy it. You know, I make fun of you, Andy, but I just I get to this point in the year where I go, you know, I'm not gonna back anything on Kickstarter. And I go about 2.5 months, almost 3 months. And I go, look at that. And then I back 5 things.
Nah.
Holy
They're
crap,
all
man.
they're all low value things. They're not like $500, but you know, I did back
Wise.
5 things.
Now, wait a minute. Those 5 things that you backed, is that in addition to what you have on your shelf that I see behind you that you got from me?
Yeah, it's in addition to Sakanumi Full Moon Down.
It was
I think
Tsukuyumi.
actually what it is, Andy, buying it from you, opened up. Well, whatever. No one knows it.
And no one will play it.
You opened up the floodgates. You gave me this game that I'm going to pay you for.
Well, okay,
Once
I was going to
get my
say,
jacket from you.
let's clarify. Gave,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Well, you're holding my jacket as ransom, so we're on.
That's true. I forgot I have your
needed-
jacket.
I desperately needed this Saturday. I was at a 30-degree soccer game with both of my kids. I'm like, oh, it's so cold.
That's funny because I was wearing 4 jackets, one of which was yours.
I'm glad it came in handy. But anyways, you opened the floodgates, dude, and now I'm backing too many games, and I probably need to back out. And just when I thought I was cured. So, Andy, if there's more room for that Board Game Anonymous, I would like to join you next time.
Absolutely. All are welcome, but what stays there, stays there.
Okay. Well, unless
Except
it's on
I
the
just-
show, we definitely will talk about whatever happens on the show. All right. Well, we have another announcement to make that's happening in Gardner, Kansas, and that is FBC GameCon. John, why don't you take it away?
Sure, why not? FEC GameCon is coming to Gardner, Kansas. If you're anywhere in the metro, the Kansas City metro area, you're not going to want to miss this. It's 2 days of the best 2 days of gaming, if you ask me, in the Kansas City metro, and it's free entry. We got door prizes, drawings, a game auction,
free
we got
entry?
tournaments. Yes, free entry.
Did you say
can
free?
for
Free?
Yes.
Yeah. And not only
Not
the
only
free
that-
entry, you're guaranteed to win a game, and we're giving over 200 games this year.
Who's doing this announcement?
Andy is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I just you just skated over free, which I think is one of the most amazing things about this con. And I got to
Yes.
hand it to our pal Daniel here, who's put this on for years. The fact that you've maintained this as a free event is just really. Yes, Chris thinks it's stupid. I think it's ridiculously generous, is what it is. It's ridiculously generous. But anyway, I'm sorry. Continue with the scripted announcement, John.
well, I was done with the script part, but I was going to go on my own ramblings.
Well, please,
However,
rant.
but not only is it free entry, but as Daniel alluded to, there's a wheel as you come in. Every family spins, wins a free game, boom, immediately right away. While supplies last, who knows? This year there might be so much of a demand that supply might not last. But that's on Saturday. You get to do that. Both days, Friday and Saturday, there's going to be drawings. There's going to be games being taught. There's going to be open gaming. There's going to be tournaments going on. It's like, and the tournaments are free, and they teach you how to play the games, and you can win something if you win the tournament. We got the Risk Strike tournament, the Unmatched tournament, Connect 4 tournament, just as examples. And
Unmatched tournament.
I think I said Unmatched, yes.
Okay.
And
wanted
and
to
there's-
highlight it.
and it's free and a large part because of Daniel. He's awesome. He does a lot of work, but also because of our sponsors. Let me give a shout out to the sponsors that we had this year. Mission Board Games, a huge sponsor.
Yeah.
All Play Games. If you've ever played an All Play game, you know they're huge. Blazers Restaurant here in town in Gardner. It's an amazing place. You got to go there. Cardboard Corner, Fellowship Bible Church, which lets us use the building for free, which is one of the reasons we can do this for free. Financial Life Outfitters, Lucky Duck Games, who just came in and said we want to be part of this. That was awesome.
Yeah.
The Carla Munchie Group, Larry's Game Store. He really stepped up this year and became a sponsor. The Evans family just decided, hey, as a family, we want to help support this. And Meek Heroes. Remember, we had our buddy Joe Bragg was on the show, and he created Meek Heroes, and now Meek Heroes is a sponsor. We're going to have some of those copies to give away. So, thank you to all of our sponsors for FPC GameCon for letting this keep going and being free.
Very
Okay,
cool.
There it is. Meek Heroes
There we go.
victory. Very awesome.
The whole quarter of the box.
There you you win the
Well,
whole box.
it was the
though.
title. There we go.
And by the way, if you're
spooky.
seeing this and still trying to make plans, you know, there is some people maybe wanting to come from out of town. They may want to drive in from an outlying city like St. Louis or Omaha or Wichita, or maybe fly in from Denver or something like that. You never know. Lodging accommodations are great in town. We have the Super 8, we've got the Hampton Inn, and we've got Daniel Connor's couch.
Yes.
That's right.
All
I
covered
think
for
Joe
an
Bragg
extra-
already called dibs on that one.
On the
for his
couch.
family, of
Okay.
course.
All right. Well, you know what? We have a lot going on, but we're here for one reason, really, and that is to get a little competition going.
I think he's just gonna choke.
I was trying to do that wrestling thing. Didn't do it very well. Around the Board is all about debating different topics within tabletop gaming in 4 unique segments, each hosted by one of us. A behind-the-scenes judge will award points at the end of the show. The contestant with the most points will be given I count them 2 minutes and to prattle and spittle onto their mic about whatever nonsensical anecdotes they like. Now let's play said game. Ready? Here we go. Round 1. Fight! Sorry Sorry, guys. With me, it's always like, you just don't know how the Adderall is functioning each day. So some days it functions better than others.
I mean, you weren't wrong. You won't be interrupted with points during the 2 minutes. So
That's true.
That's right. That's true. That's very true.
No point interruptions.
All right, here's the surprise I came up with. You're not going to like it, Chris. It's too long.
Monopoly's been bringing people together for almost 50 years. That's how long we've been wheeling and dealing together, building hotels together, and going to jail together.
Parker Brothers kind of fun
Wow.
brings people together.
That's right. We're going to talk about Monopoly, the granddaddy of all board games. Whenever you tell people, I know you can relate with this if you're in the hobby at all. Anytime you tell a friend or a family member, hey, you want to try these board games? I'm into, oh, Monopoly then. And no, not Monopoly. But today we're going to talk about Monopoly. And so I'm going to give everybody the chance to give their spiel and tell me their pros and cons about Monopoly. Is it a great game? Is it worthy of the great game debate? Well, I will start by telling you, no, it is not. It is not worth it.
What?
I have some fond memories, but those mostly revolve around,
Wait, shouldn't we throw it to a teach first?
Yeah.
Oh, fine. If anybody needs to learn how to play Monopoly, here you go.
Thank you, John, for making sure Andy throws it to us for the teach here. But it's me, John, again, along with Daniel.
Aye.
Is going to show you how to play the classic game of Monopoly. Here you see a board kind of set up the way it would start. You got your little pieces there in the go section. That's where they start. These fun little metal minis brought to you by the people of Monopoly.
The original
Metal minis. First thing you need to know is there's properties, as you can see, all around the board. When you land on them, you have a chance to buy them. If you're playing with your dad always starts with Park Place.
That is not accurate. That is a house rule.
Boardwalk. He always starts with Boardwalk.
No, you start with nothing. And not only do you have a chance to buy them, you have to buy them. And if you don't buy the property, they have to go to auction. That means
so you ship them out?
No, that means someone will get to bid on Park Place that Dad gets to start with because he doesn't have enough to pay for it. And now I can buy this for $2 if I needed to.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, speaking of money, you start with money. It comes with this good, nice paper money from back in the day. But it comes with all these ones, and you just throw those back in the box. You don't use the ones. You round everything up to the nearest 5.
Absolutely not. What are you talking about? This is why Monopoly's so bad of all the house rules. Every dollar counts in this game. If I owe you $1, John, you demand that dollar. Don't say, no, I'm going to round down or round up. No, it's $1. You get that dollar.
All right, you can be the Scrooge with your dollars. Anyway, the way the game rules, it also has roll and move technology, which is awesome. It has 2 dice, which is awesome because sometimes you roll doubles. You need to roll a lot because until you get one lap around the board, you're not allowed to buy anything. Everybody has to do a lap around the board first, and then whatever you land on, you're allowed to buy.
Or go to auction.
Oh, okay. Actually, I thought you were going to correct me on that. But
no, that was accurate.
Okay. But also, when you roll doubles, you get a community chest card.
No.
And the cool
Did
thing
you
about
seriously play
the
that
cool
way?
thing, the cool thing
Wait,
about
no,
what?
seriously? You don't get that. You have to land on community chest or chance to get these random cards that infuse new cash into the game or removes cash in this case.
What you really want to do is not play them right away. Like if it says collect $10, wait until you really need it. And then holiday fund matures, wait till somebody's really begging you for money because then they don't know how much money you have. Or if it tells you to go somewhere, tells you in advance to go, wait till you're about to get down this area here where you're going to pay a bunch of rent.
You resolve it immediately, John. Monopoly's not a bad game. There's only bad teachers. Okay.
So what do you do with the cards in your hand?
You don't have cards in your hand.
Oh,
You just play the cards.
All right then. Okay, that sounds kind of boring. Some of them you can build houses on. Did you know that? You know you can build houses on these?
Yeah.
And you build them anytime. That's what's cool. If
You
own
can
property,
actually. We just found that out.
once you have a monopoly where you have all of them, you can build a house. Look at that. And you have to build them evenly.
Yep.
And you can build as many as you want whenever you want. There's an endless supply.
No, you have to have the buildings. If these are the only 3 buildings left in the game, you can only buy 3 buildings. You have to wait till someone sells their buildings or upgrades to a hotel.
Or goes broke.
Or goes broke. This is the house strategy. It's hoarding
Sounds
houses.
like a house rule.
No, it's not.
Literally.
It is
It's
not
a house rule.
Yeah, no. It's the good rule. It's what makes this game work.
There's other things that you can buy out there, though. There's also the electric company, Waterworks, wherever that is. It's in there somewhere. There we go. And this is really cool. The railroads. There's 4 railroads that you can buy. And the more of them that you own, the more rent people pay or to use your railroad. And it's cool if you own all of them. Like say you go to Pennsylvania Railroad, you can play B&O Railroad and then just go there on your next turn. So that's really cool. You can just, it's called riding the rails.
That is not what that's called. That's, you can't, it's roll and move. That's the only way you're going to move unless you get a car that says go directly to go or go directly to jail, which jail is a good thing in this game because it means you're not landing on people's property.
Now you think jail is good. Anyway, let's get to the really good parts of the game, because sometimes, as you can see, there's these things where you pay luxury tax, and there's a lot of times in the cards where it tells you to pay some, but it's not to somebody. It doesn't say pay the bank. It says like you owed money for this, that, or the other. You throw that in the middle, and then look at this. When somebody lands on free parking, ka-changa! They get all this money.
No, you do not play with free parking. That's
right,
not
it's on the board.
Free parking is a spot that you go to because it means you didn't have to pay for wherever you land. No matter where you land, you have to pay for something usually, unless it's chance and you might get some money. Free parking is just that, free. It's not extra money. That's how you infuse more money into a game that's already taking too long. John, if you don't know how to play this game, then I'm not going to play it with you. This is ridiculous. Just listen to, we're done.
And we're back. Oh my gosh, thank you. That was so helpful. Yeah, Monopoly for me was all about remembering. The only fondness came from like those few minutes that we got along before we started playing as a family. Because right after that, it was just pure, bitter, unadulterated arguments and hatred of each other pretty much. And stealing and hiding things. And like one of my big secrets is I would take a $500 bill and I would hide it under the board. I would do it the very first thing. Like I knew from a young age, when I was 6 years old, I knew I couldn't control myself. All the way back then, I knew. Andy now would learn a lot from 6-year-old Andy. I should take all my money and stuff it under the board somewhere and hope I don't find it. But what is it, Chris? I know it's my time, but you're welcome to interrupt. Go ahead.
Wait, so you admit, as a 40-year-old man, that you could learn stuff from your 6-year-old self?
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely.
He's lost a lot of knowledge along the way.
But let me just summarize, guys. Monopoly is, it's fine. The problem is, honestly, house rules have ruined it over the years. If you actually play it according to the rules, it's not bad. It is lengthy for what it is. There's better games, obviously, been implemented since. It's fine. I guess there's some fondness and some what have you for that, but that's about it. Really, I had more fun playing the McDonald's Monopoly growing up than I did Monopoly itself. So there you have it. That's my take on Monopoly. Daniel, can you speak highly of this game?
You know what? I'm going to speak highly about this, more highly than you guys think I should, probably. I actually played this game a couple years ago with our friend Philip Ponzer and his parents. Yes, his parents. And on the one condition, I was like, we have to play this game by the rules. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, no house ruling. We just have to play it. And I got to tell you guys, we actually enjoyed our time with playing this game quite a lot up until the end. When you play this game with a legitimate rule set, it's not half bad. When you land on the property, you have to buy the property. That's one of the biggest things. And if you don't, it goes into auction. So if you land on Boardwalk and you don't have $500, it now goes into auction. And maybe you get Boardwalk for $200 instead. That's a great game. Like that's really fun when you can actually negotiate and bid on this. The other part that is often really well, there's two things. It's the free parking. Free parking is just a spot that you don't pay anything for. It's you land there and you go, oh, thank goodness I'm on free parking. You don't get more money. That prolongs the game, guys. Stop doing that. But the other thing that you have to do is somebody lands on your property and they don't have the money to pay for you. They are $1 short. You're like, no, you better mortgage that property. I want my dollar, fool. And they're like, no, but we'll trade. No. That's not how you play it. You make them mortgage the property. So when you land on it, you buy that bad boy from them. And now you got their dollar and you got their property. You don't trade. You take everything they got. Also, here's another pro tip. The houses are limited. So buy 4 houses and don't build the hotel. All of a sudden, nobody can build houses anymore. It's like a real monopoly. So this game is really good until you get to the very end. When there's the very end, there's only 2 people remaining. And then that is when it becomes a little bit more and whoever doesn't land on a property first wins, and then you can just end the game. So if they figured out the player elimination of this, Monopoly wouldn't be half bad. I'm going to say it, not half bad.
You know what I've learned from your explanation here, Daniel, is that you
What?
would make a really good slumlord, I think. You
Well, I'm
seem
the
like a
banker,
really-
so I'm halfway there.
You seem sleazy enough. My gosh.
Give me
Anyway.
that dollar. All right. Well, John, what about you?
Well, here's the deal. I've always kind of had that same opinion, Daniel, that Monopoly gets a bad rap because so many people don't play it by the rules. But then I did try playing it again, and no, it doesn't get a bad rap. It's really a bad game, but it does have a few redeeming qualities. Hey, the cool metal minis, right? Before anybody knew what cool metal minis were, you had cool metal minis in Monopoly. That's pretty neat. But was it? And then you always hear this rumor that it was really the landlord's game, and it's supposed to teach you how bad Monopoly is. I've never really understood that segment of it. I mean, you want to win, you want to be the. it's going the wrong way if it's trying to teach you the ills of capitalism and being a landlord, in my opinion. So I didn't understand the social commentary part. But then some people will also say, well, it at least kept the board game and experience alive, so that there was something to build on for future generations, which I guess is a compliment, but it's almost like comparing it to like people that lived in the 1300s. It's like it wasn't much of an existence. I mean, there was petulance and there was disease and there was a 30-year lifespan, but at least humanity didn't give up and we have people today. That's about it. You don't really want to go back and relive those times, but at least it survived. We had people that survived to give us the people we have today. That's basically the way you're looking at it with Monopoly. Board gaming survived by the skin of its teeth so that we could get good games today. Maybe I'll give you that, but yeah, we don't want to go back to the scurvy days. But then, and I always hear people say this thing that you said about the houses, Daniel, and I don't understand this a bit, because when we would play, okay, so you have to buy so many houses before you can put a hotel on. You just pay for them. You don't have to literally put the houses on. You say, okay, here's money for 4 houses. Here's money for a hotel. Boom, put a hotel on my. You don't have to sit there. And if you're just buying it all at once, you don't have to sit there and put houses on your property. You can just say, here's my money for 4 houses. Here's my money for my hotel.
I don't know. I think we need a rules check on that. I think we need a rules check on that.
Rule check, please. But anyway, no, it is not a great game as much as I want it to be. The best one that was ever made is this one right here, Monopoly Gamer, that I played with my kids. That's a fun time because it really eschews a lot of the rules of Monopoly and makes it more of like a competition to acquire these different bosses. Right? You're defeating bosses, and it's really cool. So anyway, that's what I got. Nope. And I've actually got a shirt that says, no, not like Monopoly, just to wear to gaming events, because that's what people say. Oh, you play games like Monopoly? No, read the shirt.
John, did you just say the only thing that made Monopoly redeeming at all was the version you have it has a cooperative element to it? Because that doesn't sound like you.
It does not have a cooperative element.
Well, you said you defeat monsters together.
Yes. Not together. Separately.
Oh, not together.
Yeah, when you pass go, you get to fight one of the Bowser Koopa kids instead.
Yeah. They keep getting tougher and tougher as the game goes on. It's pretty cool.
I see. Okay. Well, let's hear from Chris now, who is the old man of the group and
he probably loves it.
Probably played the thimble every time.
You would be right, sir. No, I liked the boot, but actually what I really liked was we had like a really old version of Clue that like lost its pieces, so we threw those in there, so I was always the gun.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
So
that's real America right there.
And that's what's wrong with today's society, Chris. You ruined us all. Anyway.
It's all right. So unlike the rest of these Johnny-come-latelys, I've loved board games since I was like little. So much so that at one point, before I had enough money to buy it myself, I asked for a big present of the deluxe edition of Monopoly when I was like either, sub 13 for either birthday or Christmas, because that's how much I loved Monopoly, because it was still the best game that I could wrap my mind around. Like, Risk, even for a kid under 10, is confusing if you haven't been shown, right? Trying to read the rules, understand that game is actually even difficult. But Monopoly is much more intuitive, so to speak, right? So I loved it. We played it. And so one of the most memorable moments in all of gaming, of my entire gaming life, is actually playing this game. When I was in high school, towards the end of, I was about to leave of my kind of going away party to go to college. Everyone came over to my house and we played this massive game of Monopoly. Now, we played it with all the optional rules that you're not supposed to play with, because we were just having a good time or whatever.
Fool.
So, free parking, everything, right? Well, then here what happened. We started with an 8-player game, and when the first person was about to be out, they just consolidated with one of the people that were still playing, right? So like they just absolved them. So they were still playing and now they were on the team. So
Oh
to speak,
my
those 2
gosh.
versus the other 6, right? And then someone else was about to get bought up by that thing. So they joined them. So eventually it turned into this giant conglomerate, which really was just actually a single person that had done well, right? Versus one other person. And the whole time the other person was so frustrated that we kept like going together trying to beat them. We still didn't beat them. That other person won fair and square from the very beginning. And on the best part of this entire story, not only are we playing with free parking and all this other craziness, one of the guys was just stealing money. Like right, Andy talked about putting a 500 to the board when the game started. He just, as the game was going on, he'd put in 100 and take 150, like in 20s and stuff like that. He was doing all kinds of like skimming off the top. He said he stole at least $8,000 over the course of the game, and he was part of the conglomerate. So this other guy just won this unbelievable victory. So that sounds fun, and it was great, and it was a great time. I can't remember any other time I played Monopoly, and like at all, like good or bad. And we were talking about this before, obviously for set of the show, and I for a long time wanted to give the game another shot with the correct rules, like Daniel was talking about. But like
I said it too.
Okay, sure. Fair enough. Didn't mean
Give
to
him
say
credit.
that. Anyways, but I still don't like the rule of you have to buy if you land on it.
No,
like, I think
they got to have that rule.
Why not?
No, it
Why
goes to
can't it just
auction.
Go straight to auction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
if you don't
it
want to
is
buy it, it goes to auction.
Oh, I thought you said you were forced to buy it, and if you
No.
can't,
It has to be sold. Sorry, I guess I misspoke. It has to be sold. So if you don't buy it, it then goes to auction.
Yeah, so that actually sounds fine. And then you talked about the houses. Like, I think John misunderstood. Some people use the housing strategy, John, because if you use 4 houses, there's not as many of them in the reserve. Mm-hmm. So you just use houses and fill the board with houses, and you're the only one that can have houses because you never actually upgrade to hotels to put the houses back in circulation.
Well, I
get
think
that.
What he's saying, if I may, because I'm John's interpreter, and that's okay. Paul said it's okay as long as someone who's here to interpret someone speaking in tongues like John, it's okay. So I think what John was meaning, what the spirit was moving him to say is that you should be able to just jump over building the houses and just build the hotel, and
Just
that
pay for
way,
the houses.
Instead of waiting for the houses.
You just pay for the houses instead.
That's not the way the world works, John. You build houses, then you knock them down to build a hotel.
Well, I'm just saying,
that's how you build
even when houses were available, when it got to your turn and you already had 2 on there, you're like, okay, here's money for 2 houses, here's money for my hotel. You didn't physically put them on there and then take them off. So that was
regardless.
That
all of that, I think, stupid Bush League, and correct. It's exactly what John is saying. In my opinion, there should be an infinite stock of houses and hotels. Like, I think it's stupid that there's a limited number in the first place.
You have a monopoly on them, and also I got to say,
you have a monopoly on the properties, not on what you're putting on the property.
Yeah, it's everything, and that's where the lesson is learned, John. It's not the winners that learn; it's the losers. They're like, "Wow, capitalism is rough if there's monopolies and stuff like that."
Chris,
the winner's like, "Hey, I've made out. I'm good."
You don't just have to have a monopoly in property. It's monopoly, and you can have a monopoly in anything. Like, clearly, I have the monopoly in intelligence in this show. I mean, we prove that every show, right? So
correct.
Daniel's
got it on spelling.
That's right. Yes.
I spell all the words.
So one quick point of clarification before we wrap this up here. Yeah. Are you allowed to make deals in this game?
I thought you were.
That's pretty much all ours devolved into was like, you can't, you don't have to pay me for the next 3 times that you land on this. If you
never
give
went that
me
far.
a half a share of Park Place,
that's what makes it last 10 hours.
Eat your dessert tonight.
Make negotiations. This is not a negotiation game. This is an auction game.
So the problem is I think we played it too much like diplomacy.
So you can't trade properties and stuff?
No.
We used to trade.
You can't trade properties?
No. Maybe.
I thought that was in there.
I think you could trade properties, but you can't be like, I didn't. Yeah.
So real quick, I mean, we hadn't actually talked about this, but I think the 4 of us, again, this is.
We need to play it, right?
Action checks that we haven't written here, so to speak. But I do believe that at some point we should try to work on are what we as the show feel like the definitive rules for a good game of Monopoly are.
I think we
Definitive
need to
rules
play.
are written in the book. That's what
We
we
need
do.
to-
But like, for example, right here we had this discussion about like, is trading and stuff right good? Like, I think
No,
it
it's
is
not.
if like I really want that red one and you really want the orange one, for example, right? The red one's worth a whole lot more, and you know the value, I know the value, so I pay you the orange one and 500, and you give me the red one and 200, and we call it good, right? Like,
Yeah.
Or you could
like,
just
I
give
do
them
think that's
300.
actually doable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, these are the details that I think we need to like iron out to be like, these
Actually-
are the rules we
Oh,
think.
no, I know
makes
that's
Monopoly
possible
good.
because that's what I got. That's how I got Philip's mom. I sold her one of my properties so she could have a monopoly, but I made her pay literally $1 less than the houses. So she couldn't build on it. Like I made sure she had no money. It was, yeah, anyways, I made sure she had no money. And then when she went to build the house, she was like, I don't have
Man, you
enough
did
money. I
that
was
to
like,
Philip's mom.
yeah. I did.
not
It
Philip's
was pretty
mom.
awesome.
Anyway,
Harsh.
I think, guys, we've never live streamed a game with the four of us. I think we have to be, our first live stream game now has to be Monopoly.
Maybe.
Okay, I'll agree with that. Our first one will be Monopoly.
Just because you're like, we're never going to do that, so it doesn't matter. It would be highly entertaining, I think, despite the game's questionable quality.
Maybe for the
You know what
viewers.
else would be entertaining? The rest of the show.
That's
Yes.
right. Folks, what about you out there? Have you been a fan of Monopoly? Have you ever played Monopoly? If you haven't, where the heck are you from? Iran? I actually have a friend from Iran, and he has not played Monopoly. So, what's your point, Daniel? I see your finger up there.
No, I had somebody I worked with from Guam, and she came and she was like, "All I want to do is play Monopoly. I've never had to play Monopoly my entire life." She was 19. So yeah. Anyways,
All right. Well,
so
tell
from
us what
another
you think.
country.
Tell us what you think about our nonsensical debate here about Monopoly. Maybe we're missing something, and maybe you have all the answers. Please feel free to reach out to us on social media. Please like and subscribe, comment below, and drop us an email if you'd like as well. Mail@aroundtheboard.net. Let's move on.
Round 2. Fight!
All right, round 2 comes to me for the great, not the great game debate. That's not what it is. It is Play Shelf Trade or Play Shelf Try to Trade, as Randy, our producer, titled it this week. And our 3 games, what we do usually on this is we come up with 3 games and we decide which one, everybody decides which one they would like to play right away. Can't wait. Which one is good enough for a spot on their shelf? Which one, I'm getting rid of that one. I'm going to trade it. And continuing with our April 1st theme here with mass market games, we've got our 3 games to choose from. Our Risk, the tactical game of world domination. Clue, the game of deduction and trying to find out who done it. And Guess Who, the game of flipping a coin and see who wins. So, not to lead the witnesses,
Tell us how you really feel.
I'll go first. Risk. 2 of these games, Risk and Clue, I have actually owned the deluxe copies of in the past. I own the Risk 40th anniversary, which came in this tin, had these metal pieces and everything. Played the heck out of it with my roommates and people that would come over. We would have epic clashes of Risk. Clue, I had the deluxe Clue with the cool metal figurines and the neat deluxe weapons and such. That's how I didn't know what the weapons were when we did that on Jeopardy. As I was saying poison, because we had poison in that one. And that one can be fun too, where you're just with your guesses that you're saying, hey, was it Colonel Mustard in the library with the rope, and nobody gives you anything, and everybody's like, what did he just figure out? And you might not have figured out anything, but they think you figured something out. So now they're all trying to do that. You're like, I have all 3 of those. So go ahead, suckers. Like that's what it is. So Clue has a lot of fun to it. Then there's Guess Who. Does your person have glasses? Yes. Flippity, 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 flip. Is it Angela? Yep. Okay, game's over. That's pretty cool. You look at it and you're like, oh gosh, I got the one with glasses. He's going to ask glasses and he's going to know who it is. So Guess Who? One of us wanted that to be on the list, and so it is. But Guess Who is automatically my trade. I've not played it as an adult. I've not wanted to play it as an adult. The other 2 is a little bit trickier. I think Risk is going to be my play because it's been so long since I've played it, and I would love to do like a heavy duty like 5-player Risk game. That would just be a blast with people that you know really well, that you can make, peace treaties with, and then break them as soon as you can. And because that's always the fun part. Hey, I won't attack you in Africa if you leave me alone over here in Europe. Sure, no problem. Then yeah, as soon as you amass some troops, man, I'm cutting that African continent. So I think that's my play. Clue is going to go on my shelf because that's something you can always play with in-laws or people visiting or what have you that know how to play a game, but it's still fun. It's still a decent game to play. So that's going to be my play shelf trade. Chris, which one of these are you holding near and dear to your heart?
Well, guess who decided to have guess who on this thing? It's me, the one with the glasses. Actually, I guess John.
You suck.
See, perfect. The game's balanced in this situation. You got a 50-50 chance, glasses or not.
That's true.
So, in fairness, it is true. Like that was a massive flaw, and I'm not going to deny that those flaws are why I love Guess Who, because it just makes me laugh that there are those, like, a couple of people that are like, glasses, oh, it's Angela. Oh, like, that's hilarious to me. But so I have fond memories and enjoyment of Guess Who, and I do enjoy that. And it's like, I don't know. I like, even now talking about it, like, I want to play it as an adult because I it's almost like a press your luck situation. Like, am I going to get Angela, or can I get someone that I have a chance of winning with? That sounds exciting. But anyways, for a mass market game, because they're all crap. We know this. Anyways, so I'm going to definitely play Guess Who. I want to play Guess Who right now. And then I will...
That's where it gets tough.
I'm going to shelf Risk only because it gives me access to Risk 2210, because that's a good game. I also have Godstorm that I got recently at Gen Con swap meet or auction, not auction, but the
garage sale.
Garage sale, there you go. I've been wanting to play that for years and years. I finally got that. I'm excited. As soon as I got home, found out they're re-releasing it, but whatever. And so I will be trading Clue. Now, I feel bad about this because I hate the game. It's not interesting. It's not fun. I think it's stupid. Everything about it, like, it does not work the way it's supposed to. But the movie is one of the best movies of all time. So
it is pretty good.
It hurts me to trade the game, because I feel like I'm trading away the movie in some way. Because, like, seriously, if you have not seen the Clue movie, one of the greatest, like, just kind of like dry humor, situational humor movies that you will ever see, go watch it. It's fantabulous.
Well, Chris, you got to divorce the movie from the board game, just like Battleship and Battleship the movie.
It's just that good that I can't. I can't.
So I'm gonna go old man here real quick, because there was actually a better version of the Clue movie made like in the 70s called Murder by Death, and it's got an all-star cast. Peter Sellers, and
the 80s one has an all-star cast, but okay.
Yeah, I know this one does too, but it's Alec Guinness, Peter Falk, Peter Sellers.
So it was a Clue movie, just not an official Clue movie.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I'll have to check this out. Yeah, let me know and I'll watch it at some point.
Cool.
Well, now that you two movie buffs are done talking,
yes,
and we can segue into me going, because I have not seen either of those movies, and so I guess I need to. I have not seen the Clue movie or the Murder She Wrote movie or whatever.
Murder by Death.
Although I'm a fan of Angela, what's her name, that was
Lansbury.
Lansbury, that's right.
Yes.
You know what the best movie she was in? I'm going to take my time and just talk about this.
Apparently,
my favorite Angela Lansbury, was it?
Yeah. Yes.
Is that her name? Yeah.
Correct.
It was Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
Oh.
Fantastic movie.
Was she in All About Eve?
I don't know.
That was my favorite.
She was the voice of the teapot in Beauty and the Beast, though.
What's happening?
Anyway, play shelf trade. Let's get back on track, shall we? Yes. So here's the deal. The reason you guys have a problem with Guess Who is you didn't play it the right way, apparently, because we
house ruled it.
We played it where you could not use physical descriptors. We played it with you had to only give what they were thinking emotionally. It was like, which one just had their dog run over by a mailman? A shout out to Randy, our producer, by the way, who is a mailman.
And ran over.
It makes it a lot more fun when it's an emotional game. It's all about their emotional psyche. Guess who? Guess who sucks? I'm trading that one away. But as far as which I keep and which I play right now and which stays on my shelf, excuse me, I've got to put Risk on the shelf. It's a classic. I played way too many games in college. It led to a lot of arguments and fun, which can both happen at the same time.
Yep.
And it was my really getting into tabletop gaming. I played Risk, and now, yes, it's pretty monotonous, and it is what it is, but it's still got a special place in my heart. And always, you got to start in Australia. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. If you want to win, you got to get Australia. Fight me. Anyway, that's going on my shelf. And then the play game, I got to play Clue again because I don't have as fond of memories of Clue as you guys do. I've never thought when I think of the game Clue, I go, I don't want to play that. But the way you guys describe it, maybe I just played with a bad crew. Maybe I just didn't play with the right people or something, because it sounds like it could be good. So I don't know. I really didn't play it that much. Maybe I need to give Clue another shot. That's my play.
The roll and move is really the bad part about Clue.
Yeah.
To be honest, if they could do something different with that, because there's a room you need to get to, and it takes you 8 turns to get there because you're rolling 2s. So it's like it makes it. Here's one of the house rules we used to have: you roll a 1 in Clue, you re-roll. There's no ones.
And you might as well not roll. Just move where you want to move.
Just play the game with a D20.
Hey,
I made the room.
There you go.
What stops you from doing what you want? The rules.
The rules.
Yeah.
That's an inside joke. Have we ever talked about that on the show?
Probably.
Yes, I think
That'll be for another time. Okay, so my shelf is going to be Clue. I actually enjoyed Clue. I think it's a really clever game, and I actually have the very distinct memory of when the game clicked for me as well. When you're young, you ask the questions, you mark what you know, but then one day I realized, you can get information from somebody else. I asked John if he had a revolver and the conservatory, and he said he didn't have any of that, but I had the conservatory, so I know the revolver. He didn't have the revolver either. And then somebody else asks him for a revolver and conservatory. I don't know. I'm giving a bad example, but the point is, you can triangulate based on what other people are asking. It's a really clever mechanic in that way. Other than the dice rolling, I think it's a really solid game, and I think it holds up. Now my play is gonna be Clue, or not Clue. It's gonna be my Clue as well. It's gonna be Guess Who? Guess Who? Because I would play that with my kids right now. I had so many fond memories of Guess Who with my sister. We played that for hours at a time. We thought we were so clever with our clues as well. Like sometimes we would be like, do you have earrings? And then we just realized all the women had earrings, so it was just same question as asking, are you a woman?
Yeah.
And then you gotta there's just a lot of goofy memories I have from that game. But the trade is going to be Risk. I know we're not comparing these games to other games out there, but I will say Risk is so fundamentally flawed. It's just the swingiest game that I've ever played. If you take Australia, you just win. There's so many things about that. And even when Risk came out, there were games out there that did what Risk did better, aka Axis and Allies. Also, you can go lighter. You can go Stratego. Like I think Risk was outdated the moment it came out. So that one is getting out of here.
Stratego's not like Risk.
I don't think when Risk came out. Risk came out forever ago. It was way before.
Risk is
Axis
really
and Allies.
Your mom came out forever ago.
Oh, here we go. I do want to talk about what you said about Clue, though. Yeah, when you're trying to decipher information from other people, I can't tell you how many notes I put on my Clue sheet, because here's what I know I mark off. Then, it could be the conservatory. It could be that. Yeah. So if I have to make a guess because it's getting close, I'm guessing this. It's like if you don't know for sure, but you're like, I have a suspicion. Yeah, there's so many notes you can put on there. Like you're saying, you're trying to glean information from what other people do.
So
that's where it shines.
I think there's no other game that I've ever known of that I haven't openly trashed, only because I don't know how to fix it. Like I despise Clue. It is not fun to me at all. It's just like everything about it does not it's not the game that I feel like it should be. But I also have no idea how to make it the game I want it to be. But the actual you play the game, the actual going through the motions of Clue is just not fun for me at all. So it doesn't feel like I'm solving a mystery. I don't know. It just
that's what you're doing.
The mechanics are just bizarre. I don't know.
Daniel, so your big problem with Risk, by the way, it sounds like is that you feel like it's too swingy, it's too risky.
Yeah.
But that's the name of the game.
There we go.
Yeah.
I do want to dispel this myth of Australia real quick, because Australia helps you early in the game. But as the game goes on, having Australia becomes meaningless. It's too.
But it gives you a huge head start.
Not a huge. It gives you a little head start. If you get isolated in Australia, because that's what people are going to do to you. Well, you have Australia. We're not letting you have Africa. We're not letting you have Europe. Now you're isolated and you're getting your two armies.
Risk
Right,
led
but-
to one of my favorite moments in sitcom TV, by the way.
Seinfeld?
That's right.
Yes. I still have troops in the Ukraine.
I come from Ukraine.
All right. Well, I guess we can wrap this up. Do you come from Ukraine? Do you like Risk? What do you think about these games? Are any of them worth playing anymore? Would you play any of them? Would you shelf any of them? Would you trade all of them? Let us know in the comments down below. And now we're going to take a little break. Aren't we, Andy?
After these messages, we'll be right back.
There we go.
It's the golden age of cinema. Cary Grant, Betty Davis, Humphrey Bogart, Ingrid Bergman, James Stewart. They're all here in this tabletop adventure from around the board, harkening back to the days of Hollywood's glory. But with a twist, in this hidden role adventure set in an alternate reality, the Red Scare is successful as the commies infiltrate American culture by kidnapping the biggest names in film and replacing them with lookalikes who will go on to influence the public to embrace Russian propaganda. Will America survive? Will the public be hypnotized by celebrity fakes? Find out in Chloroforming Stars. Mary, it's me, George Bailey. Would you just give communism a try?
Round 3. Fight!
All right, guys. So this time we are going to start our newest segment here where we're going to work on our social media TikTok skills, and we're going to be part of the Michael J. Fox's favorite challenge, the Mannequin Challenge.
Wait.
That's right.
Wait, guys.
You stand.
Hold on. I'm getting a message from the producer.
Glad to see you got my message. Here is your random task. Find and present the best mass market game in your collection. Then explain why it's the best and why it's taking up valuable shelf space.
Yes.
Random task. Show them what you do.
It's a random task.
Oh boy.
Got it. You guys are going down.
Good luck.
That was a little sneak peek at what's coming.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't.
All right. Well, unfortunately, I think we all failed the Mannequin Challenge, but
That's true.
we get to talk about our favorite mass market game. So since this is I'm hosting it, I will start first, and mine is Nexus Ops. And that's right, on brand, the first edition copy of Nexus Ops. Now, my cohorts here are scratching their head, but I'm very confused because this symbol right here says mass market. Avalon Hill, you can buy at Walmart, Toys R Us, all those things. This
Not
is
anymore.
a mass market game.
Not anymore.
Oh, okay.
Toys R Us.
It's not my fault you all suck and weren't doing it when it was cool. It's my bad. But this was a mass market game. You could buy this game at Toys R Us and Walmart and Target, probably for Target, or they'd come over to our shores. But anyways,
It's an American company, isn't it?
no, they're
We
French.
met the hobby games.
Yeah.
It's
This
not
is a
really
hobby
French.
game.
People just joke that it's French, right?
I think they really are. I don't
Yes,
know.
Target.
Doesn't matter.
Target.
Regardless, here we go. Nexus Ops. And this one in particular is the one you want to own because it is mass market, so it is on brand for the segment, and because it's the first edition, which we all know is the best edition. And in this particular case, they had these little pieces that were made with like whatever plastic had made it, where it was blacklight reflective, and so was the board and everything like that. So if you actually had a blacklight and stuff like that, you could play the game in blacklight only. It's fantastic. I still love this game. This is the best 3-player war game and the only good 3-player war game because it's not a situation where the two are going to gang up on the one to remove them and then play a 2-player game and start over. Instead, this game forces you to claim specific objectives each turn, and therefore you're like, well, I'm sorry, Daniel, I have to attack you because only your troops meet this goal. I can't attack John and get that thing. So it evens the playing field. It makes it work. It's not great with 2 players, but it's not meant to be 2 players. If you want to play 2 players, go play Risk, go play,
Stratego.
Stratego, go play, or
Wait.
Blitzkrieg. That game's fantastic. But when you're looking for a 3 or 4 player war game that actually plays well, fun, it plays in an hour and a half, and a mass market game, get Nexus Ops.
There's so many things wrong with what you just said. I don't even know where to start. I don't know if the judge actually feels.
Come at me. I want to hear this. I'm genuinely confused how you guys think it's so not a mass market game.
Yeah. We'll let Randy be the judge of that. But let's just say I expect Chris to storm off this episode.
That's fine.
All right, Chris. Yeah, I don't even know where to start. I'm just not even going to waste my time with it. So that's fine.
Okay.
I'm going to go straight to me. Now, to be fair, I thought I would be getting the flack that you're currently getting because I thought I broke the rules too. But compared to you, I did not. I think I am much more in the right mind when I say this because I think there's no way you could call Nexus Ops a mass market game currently, which is I think what we're mostly referring to is mass market games that are still currently in what do you call that?
In print.
In print. That's it. In print. So this is a mass market game.
Oh my gosh.
Settlers of Catan.
Chris, you're back in.
This is a mass market game.
Chris, you're
and
back
it is a
in, buddy.
fine mass market game because you will find this at Walmart.
No, you
will
won't.
Find this at Target.
No, you won't.
Yeah. Oh, really? You want to bet on that?
I will bet you $1 million you won't find Settlers of Catan at either of those stores.
Oh, screw you.
That's what you hold there. You're holding Settlers of Catan.
You will find Catan at Walmart, and you will find it at Target, and you will find it anywhere you go. You'll probably find it at Bed Bath & Beyond. Oh, wait, that's not a thing anymore either.
True.
Kohl's, you name it. It's going to be there.
You can find Gloomhaven at Target, too. Is Gloomhaven a mass market game?
Apparently.
Or a game.
Everybody's heard of
that would
Settlers
be a
of Catan.
more apt question, yes.
Catan is now the monopoly. Catan is monopoly these days. For the last 20 years, it's and last 10 especially, it's been Monopoly. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're into board games, Catan." Yeah, sure. It's taken over the mantle of Monopoly, so it deserves its
that and Ticket to
place.
Ride. Yes, I'll give you that.
It deserves its
All right.
place. It's
Daniel, did you do better than these guys?
I think you and Chris need to go back and watch our mass market episode where we talked about what the definition of a mass market game is. And I think we landed on you just know it when you see it, and we know that what we just saw wasn't it. But what I have is a mass market game, John.
Okay.
And that is the classic that you played in classrooms across the USA, and that is Pit.
Wow.
You played
It
in
even
the
comes with
classroom?
this bell. Yeah, economic classrooms is all about trading on the stock exchange.
Mediterranean.
You got you got to hold out. You got to trade. You got to say, I got wheat. I need 3 wheat.
Yep.
And we got with 3 wheat.
I need wheat.
And they go, I'll take that.
And that right there,
yell.
that
And you
right
just
there,
yell.
ladies and gentlemen, is the
So that's how you
education.
play. You just got to talk over it. You just got to yell. See, you can't hear Andy because I'm saying wheat. And then I knock the cards out of Andy's hands, and I say, he doesn't. You want his Bailey. You want my wheat. And then you just play that. But then there's also the bowl in there, I think is what it is. And if you get the bowl card, then you lose points. So that you're immediately trying to be like poker faced about it and be like, I'm totally cool. You just gave me 3 wheat. Chris, I knew you need wheat. You want my 3 wheat? And then Chris is like, oh, he had the bowl and he just passed it to me. And then Andy passed it to me. So
probably the
Andy
bear.
knows that Chris has the bowl now because Chris just saw, because he just saw me pass it to Chris.
No, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I think he means the bear.
I think you're getting
The
Pitt
bear.
wrong. You're
Yeah.
getting Pitt wrong.
Okay, is it the bear, not the bowl?
No,
Doesn't
no,
matter.
you don't say what it is. You say 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3, 3.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you said 2 wheat, it'd be too easy. Sorry, I haven't played this game. It's horrible. No, I actually really did enjoy Pitt, but Happy Salmon does the same thing Pitt does in 2 minutes. So we play that one.
I didn't know you had
that was
Pitt.
it.
I would play that with you. We played that as a kid all the time. And out of the classroom, we played it.
I was going to say
Yeah.
the fact that you played that in your economics class in high school, that
Yeah.
tells me that the quality of education, that explains a lot about you.
Not even that. It's that your professor's a mad person. That's like, man, you guys are like children are enough of a headache. Like you're like, hey, let's take children playing the headache game. Like, oh my gosh.
He was probably
Ow.
just tripping on acid. Like, play
Right,
this.
Exactly. Oh, man.
Man, well, you guys missed out. We played it a lot in high school in economics class, so it taught me about trade on
There you
on the stock exchange, and that's how I got to where I am today.
There you go. I did
You
it.
work-
That was
do-
all those Bitcoin.
You
I just
do
own
work in
one Bitcoin,
finance
one,
now.
Bitcoin's
one.
at
I don't want
all-time
that.
high right now. He's gonna retire.
Hey, keep that hand down a little bit. That was getting a little high for me there. That was anyway.
All right, save us, John.
All right. I'm worried that Chris, I think he was just playing into Randy's clutches there. I think that Nexus Ops sounds like something that would be right up Randy's alley. So I think Chris might
But yeah,
walk
because
away
he
with
likes
this
good
anyway.
games.
But even whether it's mass market or not, I've got the only I gotta say Pit is mass market. I'll give you that. But one of the more popular mass market games is Stratego, baby. And here's the nice deluxe wooden box and cool edition of Stratego, and it's one that gets played with me and my kids. At least it did before they quit playing board games. But Stratego, classic old game. Instead of playing chess, play Stratego. If your kids don't like chess, then pop out Stratego. It gives you the same feel, but it's got a little bit more mystery to it, and a little bit. It probably won't take as long. And I just recently, as an adult, figured out that the Scout, you could move them as far as you want to. I didn't realize you could do that with the Scout. So I'm here using my Scout plodding along when I was a kid, trying to get up there and see if that was a bomb or what that was. And I didn't realize you could just, if you don't care about revealing that it's a Scout, just zoop them up. Oh, that's your Marshal. Cool. Now I know.
It's amazing what happens when you read the rules, John.
I know, right? I was taught. I was the youngest of 8 kids. I was taught these games. I didn't read rules. So I find out that I was taught a lot of them wrong. And so that was one rule that was wrong. It makes the game a lot better when you can just zip that Scout around. But Stratego is the best mass market game in my collection.
That was re-implemented.
Yes, you've
Lord of the
mentioned this
Rings
before. Lord of the Rings.
Confrontation. Much better.
Do you own that?
I do.
Have you played it?
Yes, many times.
Okay, we should play it sometime. That does sound good.
It's a good one. It's one of my top 2-player games.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, that was our 4 mass market games. Hold them up so that our producer Randy can take one last look and he can decide who is going to win this random task.
Third place goes to Daniel.
What?
Wow. Seriously? That means wait. That means
one of
Chris
these two
or
knuckleheads.
Andy beat me?
Yeah, buddy. Sorry, that's the pits, isn't it, Dan? Who does number 2 go to?
Yes.
Number 2! Woo-hoo-hoo! Yes, sir.
Ooh, baby.
The classic.
Here we go. No way. There we go. Now we're talking. I can't believe it. Chris, I thought you had this, buddy.
How did Andy
Congratulations, John.
Catan's not mass market. Just because you can buy it at Walmart, then Gloomhaven's mass market, Randy.
No.
I should have bought Gloomhaven. But this
Catan is
ridiculous.
now a mass market game. It has been for probably about 5 to 10 years.
What about King of Tokyo? Is that it? What about Azul? What about Ticket to Ride? You guys are ridiculous.
Catan's been around since the 90s.
All
been
those
around
games
since
are mass
the
market
90s.
now, Daniel.
No, they're
Sorry.
not. It has to be from Mattel or something like that.
And despite me giving you crap, Chris, I will agree. Nexus Ops is a fantastic game. And I have that edition as well.
For me,
Wow.
truly, the answer for mass market is they sell it at Walmart or Target or Toys R Us or something like that.
But they still-
immediately
but they
makes
don't-
it mass market.
They don't
That's not a
currently
good
sell
definition.
Nexus Ops.
But they did. But regardless, he was saying, well, that means Gloomhaven and the Jaws of the Lion and Ticket to Ride and stuff are all mass market. They totally are.
All right, close us
Games
out,
I don't
Chris.
like.
No.
Take us home,
So
old
wrong.
man.
What do you think of? Having a senior moment there, guys. What do you think of mass market games? Is it that they have to be crap apparently according to Daniel? Or by the way, I
they
love
do.
Pit. Pit's actually a fantastic game. I just don't know why you played it. Anyways,
I got 1 point for Pitt.
what?
I got 1 point for Pitt.
One.
Anyways, so yeah, what is your favorite mass market game? Is it one like that used to be sold mass market but isn't anymore, and it's not my fault that people suck? Or does it have to be a game that currently is on the shelf? Doesn't really matter. Put it in the comments, and we'll love you for it anyway.
Round 4, fight!
Let's get it on.
All right, guys. Well, due to popular demand, Board Game Karens have returned, but this time we're going to do the mass market edition. And guys, we've been working on the points and how this is all going to work, but let's just put it this way. If one of them gets it right, then I'll get like 3 points. And if they get it wrong, I'll get 4 points. And if Randy gets it right, then John will get 2 points. And if Chris doesn't get it right, then Andy will get 3 points. But in the end, it's all going to even out. I promise. I guarantee it. But let's see what Board Game Karen actually is I am going to read off some quotes I found from Board Game Geek. And they're all 1 ratings. All right. They're all 1 ratings. So usually I say, if you give a board game a 1, then you have to be a Karen, right? These games aren't that bad. Even these mass market games, there's some redeeming value there, maybe except a couple exceptions, but we thought this was going to be really fun. So I tweaked it a little bit, based on someone's, recommendation, and we're going to do 2 1s and a 10. That means because some people actually gave these mass market games a 10. A 10. So we're going to take a look at 2 of the 1s and 1 of the 10s, and we'll see if these guys can figure it out which game we are talking about. All right. Do you guys understand?
I think so.
We have to have a whiteboard.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Crap.
We have our whiteboards ready.
Yes, we do.
Yes. Yeah,
This
we
is a
do.
whiteboard game.
We're so
It's a
ready.
random task.
So ready.
I'm ready now. I even thought about it earlier. I was like, this isn't a whiteboard game.
All right, this is not a whiteboard, but it will work.
Okay.
Are we gonna be able to read
All
it?
right.
Yes.
He's just
Okay.
going to write it on his chest.
All right. So you guys
Gonna
ready for
pick
this?
my face.
All right. So this first quote is from Eric Clark. Eric Clark says, "It's like shooting fish in a barrel, except the fish are minnows and the barrel is a half mile in diameter and we're all wearing a blindfold." Well, what in the world game could he be talking about there? Has to be mass market,
Wow.
which what we learned from last segment could be any game.
Could
It
you
could be
repeat
Group
that?
Haven.
Could
It
you
could be
repeat it?
Nexus Up.
Okay, I got mine.
All right. So let's take a look. We're going to start with John. John, what do you got?
I've got hungry hippos.
Yeah, that's just like shooting fish in a barrel.
thought it
Good
was.
job, John.
Thanks.
That's wrong.
Dang.
Chris, what about you?
Based on the impossibility of actually having fun with a game, I chose Clue.
No, it's
'Cause
not
it says,
accurate.
you're blindfolded. It's like shooting minnows in
Okay.
a half mile. It's
Yeah.
a stupid game.
But I'm glad you identified a mass market game correctly. So good job.
Oh.
But you were wrong.
Man, we really get
Andy.
mocked for our answers.
I get double points for that, right? I mean,
See, I
that's
knew we
the
wouldn't be able to
way
read it.
works.
I can't see it.
I knew we wouldn't be able to read it.
It says Battleship.
Battleship.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? Andy got it correct. It is
Oh.
Battleship.
Yes.
Man. That went quicker than I thought it would. So
Job,
let me
Andy.
read the other 2 real quick, okay?
Okay.
It's a lousy game, granted social significance only by its antiquity. It's essentially all the fun of taking turns picking off random points on a graph until something happens. I think picking points on a graph would have given it away, maybe.
Yes.
Yep. All right. And then the other one, and that's from Ben Argo. And then this one is from Kevin Davis. He's the 10 guy. Okay.
I want to hear this.
Still the best Navy warfare game out. Even with more deeper games like Mission Command C, nothing plays as fun as the time-tested masterpiece. To hunt and to be hunted at the same time with a simple guessing to find your mark. As a Navy man, this is still the best.
Wow.
All right.
That's
Well,
high
thank you for your
praise.
service, sir.
Thank you for your service.
Your
I'm sorry
opinion's
about the
terrible, but
damage
thank you
that
for your
was
service.
done.
Some Agent Orange there.
Yeah. That's terrible.
No. All right. You guys ready for the next game?
Sure.
This time we're going to start with Chris. Chris, you're going to get the first guess. All right. So we have, this is a 1 rating. Playing with the right person, it's a 10. Otherwise, the game's potential yuck factor is a 1. Playing with the right person, a 10. Otherwise, as a game and the potential yuck factor, a 1.
Yuck factor.
The yuck factor.
Yuck factor.
What 2-player game is like group dependent, so to speak?
And that's from Marcus, by the way. Good
Oh,
old
Marcus. That's just to
Yeah.
give you some context. It's from Marcus.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
if
that.
that sounds like Marcus.
I know, right?
Chris, what do you have?
All right, we're going with Daniel's favorite game of all time, Scrabble.
Scrabble. That is a 1 for the yuck factor. I agree. You get 2 points, Chris. Thank you. All right, John.
Oh, it's going to me.
Why are you skipping
Oh,
me?
sorry, Andy. Andy.
Oh,
Sorry.
hold on. My whiteboard has arrived.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Is that what you call your wife now?
Oh, no, she's not a whiteboard. She's a white woman. We'll edit and post. Here's some of our best stuff gets edited out, unfortunately. My guess was
Pie face. That's a good one.
Oh, that's
But
a
it's
good guess.
That's a good guess.
I've
Geese.
never
But
heard of geese.
what would the right person
Geese.
be? Like Bozo the clown? Like
I have a terrible guess, but it was the only thing I came up with. And since you mentioned Chris, it made me think about it, and that's Guess Who.
Guess who? If
That's
you
no,
play
I
with
guess.
Chris, it's a 10. No, you guys did not get this one correct.
That's right. With me,
All
it's
right.
awesome.
Okay, this next one. Okay,
Okay.
it's a quick one. Blink, you'll miss it.
Okay.
Too fat to play. Yeah, you heard it right.
Okay.
It's a 1. Too fat to play.
I got one. I think I know it.
Oh,
Andy, what'd you get? Operation. Too fat to play.
too fat a
I don't even
fingers.
know what it, do I want to know what
Your fingers
connection
are too
was?
fat. Your fingers are too fat.
Wow.
Okay, fair. That's not the right answer though.
If you're
All
using
right.
your fingers, you're cheating, right? Because you're supposed to use the tweezers that have the magnetic
Yes.
thing. Like,
But my
Can't
fingers are too
manipulate the
fat to hold the
tweezers.
tweezers even.
Andy knows fat people can't hold tweezers. All right, John, what do you got?
The classic movie from the 90s, Twister.
Twister. John is correct.
There we
Yeah,
go.
that's good.
Twister. All
That's
right,
good.
Chris, what did you get?
I went with, I spelt it wrong, but Crocodile Mile, that like slip and slide thing
Yes.
when
Wow.
we were kids.
That's not even a board game.
That's a yard game.
I
All right.
want to see a
guys.
fat guy on Crocodile Mile.
All right. You ready for the 10?
Sure.
All right. Come on. This is how most tweens get their first chance to touch another person of the opposite sex.
Oh
It's part of
my
our
God.
culture as much as Elvis and Marilyn. Give it some respect. And that's
Oh
from
my
Kim
word.
Green. I mean,
Wow.
she ain't wrong. We played it a lot in youth group until it was banned. And no one questioned it. We were like, yeah, fair.
Wow.
Question
Well.
how it got played in the first place.
And the
Exactly.
reason it was banned at my Baptist church because it might lead to dancing, they said.
That's right.
All right. All right, you guys ready for the next one?
Sure.
Only so many times one can play this game before creating a dozen different ways to eat the bomb in order to be taken to a better place where games such as this cannot be found. Brent Larson. All right, Andy, what do you got?
I went with Minesweeper.
Minesweeper. That's a great board game that was installed on every Windows computer in the 90s.
Ah, okay. Got
Minesweeper, the board game.
To his
Is
credit,
on.
at least it was a game. Mine was a slip and slide.
Good point.
All right, John, what do you got?
I have Candyland just because there's only so many times you can play that before you lose your mind.
That is true. Candyland's not as bad as Shoots and Ladders, though, but that's not
Yeah.
correct. All right, Chris?
So I went with Phase 10.
Okay. So I just like that you guys just acknowledged which games would make you want to off
Yes.
yourself.
Eat
That's
a
what
bomb.
I'm hearing.
Correct.
Okay. So I'm surprised it's not Connect 4 from John because
Well.
he's terrified of it.
True.
You might see Connect 4 and just eat the bomb. All right.
He's actually
ready for this next
fantastic at
one?
it. He just doesn't know when he wins.
Exactly. I'm good at beating myself.
All right. Next quote is from Coffee Drake. Coffee. First, slow cat and mouse games between the top pieces. Then, a slow, stompy spiral of death. Or a desperate minor rush. Either way, I think I know largely what this game has to offer.
I do too.
All right. Chris, what do you have?
TTR.
What is TTR?
Ticket to Ride.
Ticket to Ride.
Oh, you're right. Just kidding. You're wrong.
Okay.
What? Say
what?
Because it's not a mass market game, Chris.
It absolutely is. Absolutely is.
Andy, what do you have? Are you erasing Ticket to Ride right now?
No, I'm changing it to add a little bit. So I heard mouse, so I thought Mousetrap.
Okay.
Edition.
I heard something about minors and rushing, and so I thought it was the college edition of Mousetrap.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. No. You're wrong. John, what is it? Tell these fools what game it is.
I'm not going to use my whiteboard. I'm going to use my random task and say Stratego.
Yeah, it's Stratego. There's a bomb in Stratego, guys. He wanted to eat the bomb. Yeah. All right. You want to hear the 10?
I would love to.
All right.
Yeah.
It's the only game I honestly don't think I could ever get sick of. As much as I love some of the games I've rated a 9, I could see myself getting burned out on any of them. From the possibilities in the opening setup and the strategic movement of troops and the tension raised by the bluffs to the meta game when playing with the same opponent, this game has a lot to offer, even 60 years later.
There you go. Yep, told you it's a good game.
Volcano Lotus.
Good
I
job,
mean, I'd buy
Volcano
that game
Lotus.
based on that rating.
I would too, if I didn't already own it.
Well,
I'd buy it
good
again.
luck. You're in luck. They got a $800 Kickstarter coming out.
I sold one copy
Real
of
bomb.
Volcano Lotus. That's the first guy's going to eat.
Before you
All
do
right,
the next
we got
one,
one more.
Before
one
you do
more,
the next
guys.
one, is
Yeah.
the point system right here? I'm very confused because you're like racking up the points,
We
which
don't
is
know.
fine.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I
He
told
always
you
just
guys.
gets points.
If John gets a point, then you get 2 points, and if you get 2 points, then I get 3 points, and if I get 3 points, then Chris doesn't get any points, and if Chris gets 1 point, then John will get 2 points, which then will give me 3 points. This is very clear. I don't know why you guys are so confused. Me and Randy figured it out. Don't worry about it. Okay.
It seems like
so-
a big Ponzi scheme to me, but
Yeah, all you have to do is give me $20, then I'll give you $10 back, which then
Okay.
you will then give me $30, and we'll even out. Okay.
There you go. Exactly.
Exactly. So we ready for the last one here, guys?
Yes.
sure.
All right. I almost read the title of the game. Okay. All right. Great for teaching children about failure and disappointment. Alan O'Connor.
That's it.
That's it. That is it.
I think I know what it is.
I mean, it could be anything. It could even be Nexus Op because it's a mass market game.
Okay.
John, what do you got?
Now there's a lot of different versions of this, but I put Trouble.
Trouble.
Trouble,
No,
sorry,
sir.
aren't those all like the same game?
They are the same game.
Yeah.
But,
But it's
that
not
is not
that?
the game.
Oh,
Nope.
man.
No. All right. Chris.
We got the game of life.
Ooh.
I like your thought process. 2 points for Chris. Okay. Andy.
Meaningless.
Same thing.
Oh, suckers.
Oh, nice. Andy loses the point because he stole it from Chris. Okay.
No, I did. I wrote it at the same time. I immediately thought, just like Chris, we're on the same wavelength. Oh, yeah, failing. Life. That's
Yeah.
what I do. I fail at life.
Yep.
All right. Ready for the next one here.
Yeah.
It's not a game. It's a toy. Seriously, has anybody ever played the game all the way through? Or do you just set up the game and then put it back in the box? Sorry, if I want a toy, I'm going to bust out my dinosaurs, which on second thought would be pretty cool. Hey, I at least has a toy that's fun for about 10 seconds. It has something resembling a game, which is why I give it a 1.1 and not a 1, because a 1 is reserved for diplomacy.
Oh.
And that was Jude Vance, who actually lives
Wow.
in our hometown. We might actually know this guy. Just throwing it out there.
Oh, that's
He also really likes a movie called Show Nuff, the Harlem Shogun. Look it up. You won't be disappointed.
okay. We got to
Okay.
reach out to that guy.
All right.
Dude.
I had something, but you kept going about this guy, and I've totally forgot what I had in my head there for a minute.
Show Nuff.
No, that doesn't help. That doesn't help.
Oh, Show Nuff helps everyone.
How does that not help?
Uh,
I might have got this. 'Cause this
oh,
this is my take on this game.
I feel like
Got
this is everyone's take on this game.
Okay, Andy, since you took the longest, what did you have? Simon. Even if it was the correct answer was Simon Says, you would still be wrong because you didn't put Simon Says. You just put Simon.
What is it?
no, it is the name of Simon, isn't
Yeah,
it?
Simon
Yeah.
is the electronic
Right.
one.
the electronic
I was wrong.
toy, Simon.
Yeah.
I was wrong. Give me a point. Okay, Chris or John, what is What's your guess?
I think it was one that Andy mentioned earlier, Mousetrap Normal Edition.
Oh yeah, you're right. Andy was one question off.
So
John
it was
is correct. It's
Mousetrap.
Mousetrap. And what'd you get, Chris? He also got Mousetrap.
Mousetrap.
Good job. It's
You
a
even
toy,
said
it's
it,
not
Andy.
actually a game.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what we did. You
Okay.
just set the thing up and see if you get it to work.
By the way, I just want to say for the record, before this Ponzi scheme segment, I went from first to worst, and Daniel suddenly has the most points anybody's ever had on the show.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome for me. But you guys, there's somebody who gave Mousetrap a 10. So let me
Let's hear
close
that.
this out here real quick. This is from Adam Graff, a classic game that I feel stands the test of time. The use of practical effects, for lack of a better term, add to the fun.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed
better
being
term.
able to assemble the physical trap as we go along and setting it off. It's easy for kids to learn and play, but also fun for adults who might be playing too. I would recommend it.
Wow. Yay.
So as a person who has played this game recently, because a few years ago my son was 6 and he really wanted to play it, this game truly is like a Rube Goldberg machine for children that also has a game of complete luck.
Well, true.
Yes.
Like there's no actual strategy to your like even if like the Rube Goldberg machine was annoying, right? But like if there was like some semblance of a game in addition to all the crap you have to do to set up the game, okay. No, you have to set up this stupid machine for a game that's pure luck. It's super annoying.
Yes. Mousetrap is the worst. You know, when earlier I said board game Karens don't give ones, because this is the one game that probably deserves a 1. And also Snakes and Ladders. That also.
For whatever
You know what
reason,
means,
Mousetrap,
Don't wake daddy.
That's right.
for whatever reason, Mousetrap reminds me of something as a child where I went on some roller coaster somewhere, like down at the Lake of the Ozarks, that was designed, it kind of looked like Mousetrap. Like you were in a mouse car and it like, I don't know, it was very scary, and anyway, it brings up bad memories.
I think that was a dream. A
Sounds like a
nightmare.
traveling carnival.
All right.
Fascinating.
All right, guys. Well, that was Board Game Karens. If you want this segment to continue, give us a like. Also, go to Board Game Geek and give a bunch of games a 1 and give
would
us a
help.
random reason why, because that's going to help this segment thrive. It's
Yeah.
going to do very poorly for that
Especially-
game, that designer, but it's going to help us.
Especially Gloomhaven.
Whatever. We already went through that
Team
stupid rated
Brass!
war.
Team Brass!
All right, well, guys, that is it for this. Now we got to take a look at the leaderboard here.
Pretty close.
So it looks like Andy and Chris are at the bottom. They barely even made it onto the board, and John just did a little bit better. But look at that, me, Daniel. I am the winner. I have made a
more
around the
points.
board
Yeah.
a record. I keep getting the points because the people just love me. So because I won, I am going to get to spend 2 full minutes talking about anything I want. So guys, Randy, give me the square, please. All right, guys. There is we talk a lot about board game pet peeves in this podcast. You know, we talk about, Andy taking way too long. We talk about Chris being a curmudgeon for his games. We talk about John just liking bad games with bizarre themes. All of these are board game pet peeves. But the one that really gets me and that makes me the most angry, and I just can't believe people still allow this to happen, and that is when you are like playing a game and you've all agreed on the rules and you all understand the rules completely, and somebody takes their turn, and then like when the next person goes, they're like, oh wait, I want to take my turn back. I didn't mean to do that. Are you guys okay if I just take that back? I mean, in our game group, it happens all the time, and I'm just shocked that nobody has called this out. But guys, this is super annoying and it needs to stop. I mean, I am preparing my turn like 3 turns in advance, and when you take your turn back, that's super distracting to me, and now I forgot what I'm gonna do. So guys, we all need to be more considerate in our board gaming careers here, and we need to think about other people. So before you think about complaining about that game, before you think about bringing out the old game that nobody wants to play, before you think about taking too long on the turn, just work on that takesy backsies, because it's just the worst, guys. It's just the worst. Be better.
Okay.
He's got us dead to rights, guys.
Are you being sarcastic with that? Because that's what you do every game.
What?
Yeah.
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh, No,
It'll be
you
two
guys are
turns later, and you're like, oh, well, this is what the ideal play was, and obviously I would have done the ideal play.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I do that. Can I just redo my segment again?
Yeah, there you go.
No.
Can I
Start
redo
it up.
guys, I mean, that was
see
kind of
what he
embarrassing.
did.
So I just wanted. Okay, so guys, you know what's really annoying in board gaming?
Oh gosh.
Take too long for your turn. Okay, no, I'm done, guys. Hey, this is April 1st. We had to do something, so.
That's pretty good.
But this whole episode was a joke, right? We have we talked about the mass market games, which, you know what? Hey, we all had a moment in our lives. We played these games and we enjoyed these games, which is why we wanted to use this eventually, because it was like the default, like, these are all games we know and we can talk about. So, like one of those Yahoo said at some point, these games were, you know, a stepping stone for what this industry was going to become. But also, let's remember that these games belong in the past where they started. Give them the props for where they started, but then let's just bury them and keep them in the past. So that's my soapbox. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate. We're going on like a year and a half of this show, and it's been wonderful for everybody, for us, and for having you guys all watch it. And I don't know when to stop talking, so I think someone's gonna have to take over the closing.
All right, enough of the sappy stuff. Thank you to all of our wonderful viewers out there. Remember to tap those like and subscribe buttons, and also be sure to join our Facebook group Around the Board. Like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Send us an email to mail@aroundtheboard.net, or reach out to us on the TikTok, tickety socials, or Twitter, or whatever, X, and we'll see you next time right here on Around the Board.
Check out our mannequin challenges. They're really good.
Are you chomping down on one?
So I'm using some pre-roll.
Can we have some
Oh,
Around
I
the
thought
Board
that was
friendship
maybe a
bracelets?
mannequin finger or something.
Oh, no.